Morning all. I hope you are able to hear my voice. In case if you have any trouble, just ping me on the chat session and I'll be able to respond to you right away. Thanks, Talentedge, for the opportunity to have a discussion with people around the world who are connected online to have this to understand about cybersecurity and its application on social media security. Well, let me introduce myself in a pretty short manner. So I'm Dr. Harish Ramani. Being an Indian, I would say, rather being a Chennaiite, I would always wanted to be an Indian. Proud to say that. Yeah, thank you, Soumya. And went to abroad, went to Australia to do my PhD in underwater wireless communication, where I was able to incorporate networking, security, communication, and bits and parts of hardware components as well, and also learned how to do data center designing and stuff like that. Started my career in 2010 as a consultant in Australia, commencing my PhD time, and I was also working in my university for a period of about 2 years and 3 months. I was handling about 5 semesters as a lecturer, a tutor, and an advisor for PhD students as well. Well, I was able to complete my PhD in less than 2 years, so most of my time was spent across learning communication patterns and security aspects with respect to networking. So the base is ideally networking for security. So infrastructure is my bread and butter, so I would really play with infrastructure in a much better way. And for going forward, I started the first hack into my university's network. It was actually not a hack, but I just tried some exploit and it did opened up. Then you know what happens when you really hack into a network of a university. People started to really ask you, saying, how did you do that? And they were unable to identify it for the next 48 hours what has happened. And then I voluntarily went and I said I did this exploit, and then all the network has crashed. And about 2 days between Friday evening and about Sunday afternoon, there was no internet working inside the university. And we started understanding it, then the exploit was pretty great. It was just a trigger where I copied a command from one of the books that I read, and it started. Then the university identified me and put me into a university program for about 2 weeks time. This was the only classroom session which I attended during my PhD, and learned what is security in a different level, not altogether from a concept base. They wanted to first teach me whether I'm able to do things really from a security perspective, or it was just a gimmicks. So started with learning and identified that security is only 100 concepts, 100 factorial, I would say, in terms of a conceptual manner, because the total outcome that we take into consideration is very less with respect to security. The only probability that you'll have to play is 100 concepts. That's it. Pretty easy. If you know all the 100 concepts, then it's much easier to really break into any security parameter. And did my certifications like Certified Ethical Hacker, Computer Hacking Forensic Investigator, EC Council Certified Security Analyst. Then I did a couple of CompTIAs and A+ and N+ certifications. Followed by that, I become a Certified EC Council instructor about a couple of years ago. Well, I was doing instructing, but I ended up doing the certification only in 2016. Now, one of the leading trainers in the market. At the same time, most of my time has been spent across research, where I run the company named Internet Techies. Now it is being renamed to Tevel Cybercorps Private Limited. We are predominantly a cybersecurity company, where our operations are training, IT services. We are also establishing our SOC operations, the Security Operations Center, and we're converting the general training module of theoretical based training to incident based training. I'll try to show you a video where possibly, if we have time, how really an incident works and how people can end up learning security in a much different angle along with the concepts. Going forward, I'm also a consultant. I also design data centers. One of the data centers which I've designed, data center architect, is in the country of Kenya in July 2017, and the designing the installation part of that work is supposed to commence in next 40-45 days time. So that's a good thing that is going on right now, and as I've been given this opportunity, let me utilize it properly and try to answer your questions. If you have any questions, you can just stop me right there. Probably you can send a chat message, because I always wanted it to be a discussion rather than I'm speaking without seeing your guys' eyes and I just blabbering and you guys think it's understandable, but when the session is over, I think that may create a problem. So I don't want that to take place. So if you have a question, please feel free to ask me right there, and I'll try to answer it even in between. And we'll anyway have a session of about an hour, so we're good to go with that. So let me get into the topic, the cybersecurity and its application. Before talking about social media, we need to understand that we've heard about big data, we heard about data analytics, we heard about data mining. All these concepts really play a very vital role in social media. So how is cybersecurity coming into play? That's what many people asked me. So you're saying that social media security is very important. Do you think it's the security that is required for your browser or for your computer, like an antivirus? No, that's not the security I'm going to talk about. That's something which there are many people who can talk better than that, better than me, or they will know about the parameters in a much better angle. So I'm going to talk about social media, where I'm doing a huge amount of research on that for the past 4 years time right now. During my training sessions, let's say, let it be even governance, let it be risk or compliance or audit perspective, we really speak about how to perform it. But before how to perform it, we need to know why we really have to do it. That's where the point comes here. So before posting a picture in social media, how many of us really think that this picture is going to be there for the next 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, or n number of years? Nobody really think about it. The moment we upload a picture, that's it. We wanted to just make sure that people are liking the picture, people are sharing the picture, or they're trying to comment something about it, or they're trying to say something, oh, it's good, bad. That's a mindset of people. There are people who I have seen across who are addicted to getting likes and comments. If they don't really get the like in the next 2 hours after they post a picture, they actually fall into pressure and they get into depression. I know a couple of psychiatric doctors, who I converse with very often. One of them is my cousin. See, he always converse me saying that when they don't get a like in a couple of hours after the picture has been uploaded, or ideally a portrait picture of them by selfie mode, they get depressed. They say, why it is not happening? Why people don't like me? No, this is what people say. That is kind of a security what I'm really going to talk about, and that has a direct implication to cybersecurity, and which may end up looting your money even not today, probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow. That is always possible. So I'm putting the basic implications here by saying the moment we talk about security, the moment we talk about cyber security, information security, everything is more or less same. Let me give you the explanation first. The moment we talk about security, we really have to identify whether are we safe to apply security. Next, second, the point cybersecurity is coming in is the moment we talk about digital media. Any digital media is cyber, so it is important that we have to have a security measure implied at any point of time. Number 3 is what we call about the information security. The data that we are uploading or posting online is exactly the information security, and social media security comes under information security. Let's leave about the application, let's leave about cybersecurity for now. Let's understand what people are doing with data uploaded online, especially in social media. So I travel pretty often to the European countries, and I had a few of my connects in countries like Romania, Estonia, and countries like Czech Republic, Hungary, when I have conversations with these guys, these guys say, there is no law exist, and because there is no law exist with respect to cybersecurity, people can do whatever they want. They can, download any data, they can use any data, and they don't have a problem. They don't have a copyright infringement act or something like that exist, because cyber threat is not a big thing there. But on the other hand, where we call them the dark world, not the dark web, it's dark world. There are a lot of people who get into office at 9:30 a.m. and finish their work at 5:30. After they reach home, they'll have a really good family like what we have, and they'll be married, have kids, and they'll play, they'll take holidays, get their salaries properly every month, and vacations, everything. But what are they doing between the 9:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. in their office? Their only job is to download media data and comment that has been posted online from the social media websites and prepare it for their repository. You may ask, what are they really going to do with their repository? The problem here is, today, I may like a perfume, I may like a shoe, probably a Nike shoe or a Puma shoes. Today I'm liking it because I like it. My liking in the sense I'm putting a like, on Facebook or in LinkedIn or in any of social medias like Instagram or Pinterest, anything. Once the moment you click that one, it has been recorded. Somebody who's on the other side of the world is trying to copy the data, number one, possibly download the data and create a folder named Harish Ramani, and they will start pouring data in that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it is not a normal folder. It is a folder where big data analytics and data mining is properly defined, and the algorithms are well written, and the moment you're going to type my name, it'll give you all the data like the Iron Man movie. The moment he flicks his hand, there'll be a device in his hand, call him mobile phone. It just opens up completely like a 360-degree view. It will be like that in their computers. And they wanted to know everything about me. They have it. Typically, like everybody, like everybody in the world who has a social media account, who's using a social media account for everything and every time and anywhere. So in order to take that into consideration, these guys record those data. Let's leave it for the next 5 years. Let's 10 years. Now I'm earning. And I know if I want to buy a Puma shoe, I can buy it. If I want to buy a Nike, I can buy it. I want to buy a perfume, I can buy it. What if an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old is going to do the job, is going to do something like that, going to like a football shoe, or is going to like the gears available in football or anything that is related to that? I'm just giving you real-time examples where we can understand it. In most of the cases, it will be mobile phones, it will be gadgets, depending upon the lovers. I'm kind of a gadget lover, so when I want a gadget, I don't mind going and grabbing it right away. And whoever is surrounded with me, they all say, you got the best gadgets in the world, because I know how to use it. I don't just like that buy a gadget and then keep it lying in my shelves. Similarly, 18 or 19-year-old guy clicking a picture or uploading it online saying that I like this, or liking a comment, something like that, and being recorded in social media, after 10 years or after 15 years, the guy or girl who captured the picture and uploaded it at the age of 18 or 19 will be about 34, 35 years of age. They will have their own money for their pocket. Most of them would be earning their own money. Most of them would be living out of somebody else's money, like husbands or wives or something, but they will definitely have some money to their pockets. Similarly, an advertisement will just come into your website, in your web browser, because they would have captured every information of yours. So posting an application in your link is not very difficult in that way. And you get an image saying that the perfume original cost is about $200, or you say about 13,000-14,000 rupees in INR, and the same perfume available at a cost price of 7,000 rupees, which says about 45% discount. Ideally, we have the money. I know the perfume cost is 13,000, 14,000 rupees in a real shop or even in Amazon, but there is somebody who is posting me a link and according to me, I'm actually getting it randomly. So they would have built the comment saying the perfume is really good, value for money, and they themselves will create all these things. They create avatars to create these comments, all fake comments. You will be able to see about hundreds of comments saying the perfume is very good. Couple of them will say, no, the perfume is not so great as I expected. They'll have a mix and match of comments posted and likes and unlikes there. What we will do, we will be attracted towards these kind of things and will be clicking to make a purchase. And they'll tell you that you got to transfer the money through some Ethereum or some Bitcoin, because Bitcoins are going to be popular in next 5 years time, even more popular than today. Today it's popular because it's being purchased by a lot of people, but it's also going to be used by a lot of people, the cryptocurrencies. And they'll tell you, you got to pay you pay by cash, you have to pay a little extra. If you pay by cryptocurrency, you don't have to pay so much of money, you can only pay this. I'll give you 5% extra discount. So ideally you think that you're getting 50% discount for a cost price of 7,000 or 6,500, and paying it off, you actually don't get the item back, because the money that you have paid is not from a legitimate website, number one. And the person who is sending you the link, I would say a link, knows that you will definitely buy it because you've kept liking perfumes like that over a period of 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, something like that. But during the time when you are liking all these links, you didn't have enough money to really purchase those perfumes or the product that you really like. However, after 15 years, you will definitely have the money, and it's going to be much more easier for anybody to really pay 6,500 or 7,000 rupees in INR. So this is what is going to happen, has already started. Very simply, I'm giving you a heads up. Basic level of security. Now let's come to a bit technical part of security. This is for anybody. This is for people who started using mobile phone yesterday. A typical examples are people who are 50 plus years of age, staying at home, typically the homemakers or people who have opted for early retirement. They're right now living with the mobile phones and with the tablets. I know a lot of my family members who are typically living with smartphones. What are they really doing? Just watching videos and videos and videos in YouTubes and Facebooks and things. They don't get into LinkedIn at all because they're not looking for a job. So their ideal time is, they don't upload much of data, but they end up making sure that they are liking a video or they are loving the video, viewing the video. So they are increasing the number of views that is happening. And I have a statistics with me, which we've gathered using a local law enforcement agency, because I'm being the official advisor to them. Somebody has any questions? Okay, yeah, great. Now what happens there, we have a statistics with us, saying that out of 10 complaints that the police department receive, 7 of them are from well-educated people. And I'll tell you, on the 7, I'll categorize the level. However, the remaining 30% of people, remaining 3 complaints are coming from people who are at least 60 years of age. 60. And most of them are retired professionals who have money, or who get pension every month, or who get some kind of an interest from their OD account. I mean, sorry, not from OD, from their fixed deposits and from their deposits that they've made, or some other means. They are spending a lot of money, ending up spending it for nothing, and then they keep crying, and then they end up in depression. People who end up in a depression like that after 60 years of age, what is the end result? They typically end up forgetting things, or they're really going to pass away from the earth. This is what really happening, and I've got number of cases to really quote in that number. The remaining 7 cases, the 70% of cases which are coming from the educated professionals, the shocking part is, I don't want to really name them, number them, but the doctors are number 1 on the list. Out of the 7, at least 4 of them are from doctors. 4. So more than close to about 60% are from doctors. Number 1. Number 2, lawyers. They approach one among every 7. So 4 among them is are doctors, 1 among them are lawyers, 1 among them are individual professionals like chartered accountants, like company secretaries. I'm segregating lawyers and these guys because these guys who play with these computers are different level. So the chartered accountants and company secretaries are now literally living with computers because everything has been automated online by our Indian government. That's good from the government, but at the same time, these people who think they know everything ended up losing a huge amount of money. The money that they've lost, 40 lakhs, 60 lakhs, easily. I've got at least 15 cases in the last 3 months from the chartered accountants and lawyers saying that I've lost 65 crores, 65 lakhs, 45 lakhs. The minimum amount is about 35 lakhs. You can see that the amount of money that has been lost by means of social media, and they're not aware of it. They think they know everything, but we always say awareness is the key. They said, who are you to talk about awareness to us? We know everything and we designed a lot of things in the society. I mean, we call them very simple. They're always advanced persistent threat. So let's come back to the point here. The 4 of them are doctors, 1 of them are going to be lawyers, and 1 of them are going to be the individual professionals. I would even call them individual consultants. So we got about 6 of them done. We have the last one. They're nothing but the IT professionals. And really shocking thing, yes, the IT professionals end up making extra money, wanted to make extra money, and they end up losing a huge amount of money. And we get at least 25 to 30 complaints from IT professionals every month in the local police department. And then the answer is, sorry, you have transferred the money. And even if we go end up looking for the people, they're not going to be the real answer. They're not going to be the real people. They'll only be a beggar sitting in Uttar Pradesh or in the Delhi NCR region. And they will be taken for photographs and paying some for 5,000, 6,000 rupees, and they'll end up taking an Aadhaar number, a passport and everything, and then hand it over to some criminal who is going to perform all these activities. And most of them are typically from the UP region because when we get about 100 cases, 97 cases, the account numbers are going to be directed towards the UP region. Typically in the UP region, and about Noida, Gurgaon and places like that, Haryana, places like that. So around the NCR region is what most of the criminal activities are really taking place. And I'm only saying because I'm involved in a lot of the cases, trying to identify who has, at least we can recover some amount of money. All these things are happening only because of social media. So why am I emphasizing all these things, saying you will end up losing a lot of money, and the money is not just going off from your hand. You're going to really send the money to somebody else. Somebody is not going to grab the money from you. You are voluntarily going to send the money to somebody for grabbing some items, and the items are either fake or you don't get a response from them. This is really happening. Now, let's come back to the point of cybersecurity, direct connection with the social media. There is a case talking about 2010, let's say 8 years ago. There was a case when I was in Australia. I was reading the case in newspaper, a local newspaper which is free available, and I was going through the local train, and I was reading the newspaper. This says a person who wanted to get all his posts and likes and comments, everything in Facebook, and there is a law exists in Australia that you can apply for everything because of the privacy issues. And Facebook took their time, and then they sent 1,200 page data like this in a courier to the guy's house address, residential address. Whatever the post that he has created, whatever the post that he has deleted, whatever the post somebody posted about him and then he ended up deleting it, or somebody ended up deleting it, are still available in social media saying with a tagline, it's deleted. So remember, you're going to post anything in social media. Let's say, hi, how are you? Or you're going to say somebody, the picture sucks. Then you end up deleting the picture because somebody asked you, well, don't use all these unparliamentary words in social media. You delete that comment. Yes, nobody will be able to see after that. But the social media, especially like Facebook or LinkedIn, store even those messages. They will not delete the message completely from their database. Number one point. If you do that, you can be filed a case on that if the privacy is very strong in the country where a person is living. Unfortunately, we are deriving the privacy policies in a much better way, and it is going to take a lot of time. There are countries we know that it is well written, or they really give so much of importance for individual privacy. And we talk about Aadhaar data being misused. It's not being misused from the Aadhaar system. It's being misused by people who actually deliver the data. I applied for a loan about a few days ago. A very small loan. I want to just make sure that I'm taking the purchases in the loan. It's a commercial product, and they asked me data like, give me a bank statement, give me a PAN card, give me a salary slip, give me your Aadhaar number. They asked me all these details. I said, do you really have a document to ask me all these details? They said, no, we just ask and everybody give. I mean, are you serious? When somebody is asking you for giving a loan, you end up giving all the data. And then you say that Aadhaar is not great. The communication medium between the device where we are activating the Aadhaar and their server is the problem. That's where we talk about cyber security applications are the problem, and where data of Aadhaar is being leaked. How many of us really know that these systems are secure or not secure? How many of us know that there is no reconciliation process is happening in most of the fintech companies available? I don't want to name the companies online. This is really happening. I end up paying 1,000 rupees to somebody, and somebody is receiving the 1,000 rupees, and I'm also having the same 1,000 rupees in my account. Now, who's actually paying the 1,000 rupees? This is the problem, because the medium that we are using is for ease of access. At the same time, there are a lot of trouble that is happening in between. Somebody is sniffing your network. Somebody may have injected a remote software which will not be listed in your app store in your mobile phone, would have captured all the data and might have been misused. But we ended up saying Aadhaar is fake, and they're collecting Aadhaar for everything. Simple. Somebody, the local commercials asked me, can you give me a PAN number? Yes, I'm happy to give me a PAN number. There's no problems in giving me a PAN number as long as it is activated. Yes, I got a confirmation. They asked me, can you give me an Aadhaar number? And I asked them, there's an OTP confirmation required to enable Aadhaar number. Yes, sir, you will receive an OTP. Once you get the OTP, you can enter it here. Yes, they accepted it. Then they asked me, can I have your bank statement? I said, why the hell you have to have my bank statement? No, we wanted to just know whether you have an account active or not. I'm signing a signature cancelled check, which means that my account is active. If you think that there is a problem in that, ask your manager to send me an email. I'll send you back my bank account. Why do I have to give all my expenditures to somebody? And I asked him, can you give me an official email address? No, sir, we don't have official email address. You have to send it to my personal email address. I said, no, boy, I'm not going to do that. Why do I have to send it? How many of you really ask these questions? The moment you go and ask these questions, they'll say, no, sir, I cannot process a loan. Then you say, oh my God, I need a loan, so I wanted to give all the data directly to them. And you're actually giving your social media information to them. I ended up asking this guy, can you please put me to your manager? He said, yes, sir, I can put you to my manager. He put me to his manager. I spoke to him. He said that, sir, there is no need for a bank statement to be sent. There are a lot of people who think that the bank statement is active, and when we apply for a ECS, the ECS will not go forward. Hence, we ask them for a bank statement. Now, I say that it is active. I don't have a problem in that. I'm using the same bank account, debit card or credit card to actually swipe there. And things are much more easier right now. They wanted to just ask the right question, but people are unable to answer the answers. That's where the problem starts. You start to give all the data, whatever they're asking, and then you end up saying that my Aadhaar data or my personal data is leaked. I've connected cybersecurity. I have connected information security. I have connected the application that is being used. I've also connected the social media and the social media security into the conversation right now. Now, it is very important that how are we going to use? I'll give you a real example. Let's say we have a fintech application that we are using today for sending money to our beloved ones. Let's say any kid or kid. And the scenario says like this: you have to transfer 1,000 rupees, and you have to have an OTP. You have to have, if I'm transferring it from my Visa card, then you need to have 6-digit number, and once your 6-digit number is entered, then money is gone from your account, and it's going to go to somebody else's account whom you wanted to transfer the money. Appreciate it. The system is pretty good, and I ended up saving myself during a lot of time. Once, in an added example, I went to have food during my lunchtime. I kept my card, my debit cards and credit cards in my wallet. I also have my wallet, but the cash that I had in my wallet was little lesser than the money that I was supposed to pay. Then I said, oh my God, I forgot it. Do you have a credit card, a debit card machine? Yes, sir, we have it. Unfortunately, it is not working since morning. I cannot just like that live, because it's not a normal restaurant where I'm going and having food. So I was forced to make the payment. Then I asked, do you have any other mode that I can make a payment? Yes, sir, we have the Paytm that you can do a payment. Oh my God, you really saved my day. I just scanned the QR code, entered the number, paid. He said, yes, sir, money received. That's it. It just took me about 30 seconds to complete the process. And I was really happy, and I was actually feeling embarrassed by not having money in my pocket. But I didn't feel. They made me feel that I had only 70-75 bucks in my pocket, in my wallet. But I have debit and credit card which has a lot of money in that. But it doesn't matter. On that day, that moment, I felt really bad. Oh my God, I should have had at least 1,000 bucks in my wallet. But then they said, don't worry, you have a Paytm. This is for ease of access. We should definitely inculcate habits like that. At the same time, we talk about information, cyber, application, social media, and all these things. The security is going to be a word that is supposed to be added everywhere. I asked the same question to that guy who said, you have a Paytm to make the payment. Okay, I understood your point. Can you tell me, do you really know that your system, what you're using, is safe? I said, no, sir. They come and say that, this is safe, this has encryption. They put all these jargon words, and I don't know anything about it, because I ran a restaurant for the last about 14 years, and I'm not a tech savvy. I'm a businessman, so I know how to do my business, and I've been running my restaurant successfully for the last about 14 years. So I don't have to really worry about it. I then asked him one more question. What if you get a message saying your money is received, and suddenly somebody is transferring all the money from your Paytm account, their Paytm account, and then multiplying that to some more accounts, like this. One account to another like this, and then from there it's going to be like this. Let's say 10 accounts it's actually going across. Do you think you will be able to go behind all these accounts and then keep track of all this money, whatever you're getting? Then I asked him one more question. How much is your daily turnover in Paytm? He said close to about 40,000 rupees I get it in Paytm. That's a lot of money. And what is your daily turnover? If you don't mind, you can tell me. Yeah, sir, I get about 3.5 to 4 lakh rupees every day's turnover. That's a good restaurant. 3 to 4 lakh rupees a day is a very, very good restaurant. But when I asked him this question, he was really shivering. Sir, I make this money, and I asked him, what if you're going to lose your money for one, and I asked him one more question added, saying, how many days you actually withdraw your money? I said, once in a month I withdraw my money from my Paytm account. I said, are you serious? So totally, and on an average, you're going to have about 10 lakh rupees in your account. And what if all the 10 lakh rupees is being siphoned after it is accumulated over a period of 30 days time? I said, no, sir, I don't know what to do. Ask these questions to, who supplied you these things. I gave him my business card. He called me exactly after a month. Said, sir, I asked all these questions, but nobody has any answers relatively for it. Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you. The medium that you're right now using, you think it's secure, and they think it's secure, but it's actually not secure. There's nothing called as the secure, but at least you can say it's secure. No. People just come out and say we use encryptions, we have our data in Amazon cloud or in Salesforce or in Azure or something like that. But the real problem here is not that. The real problem is something bigger than that. The real problem is the data that we are posting in social media. It's not just Facebooks and LinkedIn's and Instagrams and Pinterest. It's also using your debit or credit card online, where there is an application involved, and the application is capturing your data and it is being stored somewhere else in the globe where you're completely not aware of it, where we don't have a privacy law exist, like the GDPR that has come out in the European region, which is going to be live from May 2018. A lot of people are still suffering because of GDPR because they have not made their initiative. There are a huge amount of capex is required to be done. Now, I wanted to just put forth a lot of questions in front of you guys who are listening to my conversation. And think about it. No, I'm not looking for an answer for any of these questions. Do you think social media is really safe? It's good. I spend time in social media. I'm not denying it. My wife spends time in social media. My parents, my mother-in-law, my parents-in-law, everybody really spend time in social media. They're enjoying it. Yes, it is perfect entertainment. But how safe it is? Number one, if you think it is really not safe, you try to find out an answer. I know how safe it is, how not safe it is. I know what to connect and what not to connect. And if you ask me what to connect and what not to connect, very simple. Keep your personal separately, keep your official separately. Right. That's my only answer. Then, what are the applications that you're installing in your mobile phone, and do you really know that some of the applications have a back-end call recorder facility, especially in Android? iOS cannot accept those things. And talking about cybersecurity, installing an antivirus program or a firewall is just enough? Pretty sure it's not. There are a lot of other things that are required to be done. First thing is a user should be aware of what they're doing. And that's the first step for anybody at whatsoever time it is. It may be 12 a.m. in the morning, it may be 2 a.m. in the morning, it may be 6 p.m. in the afternoon. It doesn't matter. So you got to be really, really sure about what we are doing and how we are doing. Then comes the real part of buying an equipment which is certified. I'm buying a Lenovo laptop and there is a preset a backdoor available with Lenovo laptops that has been published online by a lot of forces. I know what is a backdoor and I know how to resolve the backdoor. You ask me the question, does the antivirus really stop the backdoor? No. That the backdoor is not there in your software. It's not in your operating system. It's there somewhere even deep. Now try to learn these things. That's where you will end up being, you'll be able to end up applying security to your social media things, and to your application, and to your cybersecurity, and to your information security, and the information that is available online. I think, whatever I wanted to really convey, I think I've done that. And I wanted this session to really be an awareness session for people who know or who don't know about social media security. Just wind up the session probably in another 2 minutes time, then I'll open things for questions. If you have directly, you can ask me while chat, and also open to voice communication questions. The simple thing in life is living with digital media. The simple thing. The simple thing in life, again, is to understand, and you can be aware of what it is. So prepare today. If you're not going to prepare today, tomorrow you're going to die. You're not going to choke. You're just going to die directly. Because I have an experience whom I have seen from my clients. On second morning, I have an EMI for my, probably house. And the first or 30th evening, I get my salary. I'm pretty sure that my second morning, my EMI will go properly. Unfortunately, on first of that month, first of the day, all my money has been siphoned from my account. I don't know how, but second morning I was completely unaware of that scenario, and the bank guys started calling me. You are in deep pressure. You'll end up in stress. Your CIBIL score will go down. Bank will say that you're not good. I'm not going to approve you loan, and you've done this. Then this is where it's going to happen every day. So be aware of posting information in social media. Constrain yourself. Don't be addicted to the likes and comments. And I'm pretty much done with what I have to talk. If you have any questions, I'm open to the questions. Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, sure, Saurabh. And I've got a question saying, can you share what can I do to start my career in CS? Good question. CSS, I mean, cybersecurity. There are totally 3 streams available in cybersecurity for an entry level. Number 1 is we call them network security. People who are not interested in programming and say we are a server admin, we are server guys, we're networking guys. We set up, we lay cables, we configure, we install, or something like that. These guys can take up profiling from network security. A lot of opportunities and profiles available in the market with pretty good salary. You can start your career for entry level, entry level into cybersecurity. There is no experience required for that. You may be a network administrator for the last 10 years. You can still get into cybersecurity. You'll still get your salary hike from where you are, or you can still get the same salary continuing with that. You got to choose network security. Number 1 for getting into network security position from people who are from this kind of background. Number 2 is application security. People who are programmers, who worked in database, who know how to write a fuzz algorithm or basic algorithm, and who know how to query a database, who know how to write scripts, JavaScript or Python script, anything, can choose application security, where there is no installation, there is no configuration, nothing is required there. The only thing is you go do a secure source code review. When you're doing a coding, you can convert the coding into a secure coding, where you will end up learning OWASP concepts and PCI DSS concepts, which are very, very easy in the world to learn. For an ordinary man, I'm talking about me, I'm an ordinary man, takes about 2 days to understand OWASP concepts when I started learning it in 2012 or 2012. Because I was only a network security guy until then I started learning about OWASP in 2012. I was able to understand it in 2 days time. This is definitely not rocket science. It was definitely not underwater wireless communication again. Then the third part is, so I'm interested in programming or to do coding and also do some coding. How can I land up in CS? Yeah, that's right. So you got to start learning OWASP concepts. OWASP, Open Web Application Security Project. Let me type that. Open Web Application Security Project, and project, and the domain name is owasp.org. You can just log in there and see what are the last 2017 listed top 10 vulnerabilities, and they will give you the path how to do a proper secure coding, how to evaluate a coding that is being done by somebody else, and how to do a testing on the coding, how to use market tools, and how to evaluate it. Only 60% can be automation and 40% has to be manual. So you will be able to understand those things pretty easily. There's nothing, no difficulty in doing that. I'll anyway type that here as well so that people can really take a note. Open Web Application Security Project. Yeah, PROJECT, and then it says OWASP. Yeah. Right, that's one level. Okay. Then the second point is with respect to application security, the only thing that between network security and application security difference is coding is the skill. You become a network security person, you learn coding, it's good, add it. You be an application security person, you have to learn networking. So it's combination, like 70% networking, 30% application security, application level for network and a network security analyst or network security engineer, and 70% application security and 30% network security networks for application security analyst or application security engineer. That's what you got to do. The third thing is what? I'm not a network person, I'm not an application person, I'm not a coder, I'm not interested in any of these, but I'm an IT guy. I'm into quality, I'm from DevOps, I'm from Agile, I'm a Scrum Master, I know how to do an audit, how to perform, ask critical questions. There you can choose a career from the governance, the risk, the compliance factor. There you don't need to know any of these things. You just have to understand the formula available in the market and released, published in a lot of newspapers. I've even seen that publishing in newspaper about cybersecurity governance, and you can perform a review on infrastructure, you can perform a review on an application, you can do an audit, you can just go the principles and policies and procedures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they'll be listed on these kind of websites like NIST and OWASP has a list of criteria. Then PCI DSS, I'll just type all these things here, probably you can do it. NIST has something like that. Then PCI DSS has something like that. OWASP again has something like that. Then you can go to forums like HIPPA. HIPAA has something like that, which is for HIPAA is an act in US which really did very well. Then Cloud Security Council has something like that, CSC. Then you have ISO 27001, ISO 27017. So you can go to all these places and you can really understand the criteria, the policies and the procedures that are defined for people to really understand, what the other part of cybersecurity is all about. So I said I'm not a programmer. I take network security. Now I'm a programmer. I still can take network security. I'm not interested in any of these things. I want to really do the governance part and how it is being categorized, how it is being working, how it's being worked, all these kind of questions. I'd be happy to really take it up, the governance risk and compliance. Trust me, nothing is easy. Number one, okay, I have to really put the word trust me here. So nothing is easy here, but nothing is very difficult. Security is one of the easiest subject right now available in the world, where the most important listings, I would say, are logical skills, common sense, and presence of mind. So you accumulate logical skills by accumulating knowledge, then you end up doing the common sense factor, which is common with everybody. Unfortunately, there is uncommon, so you got to inculcate it as common. The third one is where you come out, with your presence of mind, right? Okay, I'm a student of class 12th. Okay, so after that I want to study IT. So can you please suggest where to study class? Okay, I think that is a little vague question, Soumya. Sorry about that. The reason is I cannot say that this institution is good, that institution is good. It is nevertheless with the institution. It is with you. So you take up IT, the syllabus is going to be pretty much the same across India. Some may have extra, some institutions may have extra subjects, some institutions may have extra subject. It's how actually you get exposed. How are you going to make use of the opportunity? That is how I really name it. So I don't know even which city are you really from. So if you are from Delhi, there are a lot of universities there. If you are from Chennai, where I'm from, there are a lot of universities there. If you're from Andhra, if you're from Madhya Pradesh, a lot of universities across India where they really provide a very good quality of education. So in that case, start concentrating on a specific subject. Class 12 is too early to decide. I would rather say an engineering graduate to start deciding only if you enter into a third year. Yeah. Any more questions on this? Yeah, sure. Thanks, Sarvya. Appreciate you on that. Yes, learning R. Learning R is you got to learn Python simultaneously. That's why R works there in a different level. It's a different level altogether. It won't come under any of these parameters. It comes under the top layer of cybersecurity. So you can always learn that. There's nothing wrong in learning it. And if you are from a professional background like chart accounting or company secretary, where I've seen a lot of people doing very well in cybersecurity domain. So if you're from some domain like there are cost accounting who are ending up doing audits, forensic audits and kind of things, yes, you definitely have to learn R. But how long does it take for you to really implement something is where the question is, and you have to find out the answer related for that. Because I only know the basics of R and Python. So I don't get into programming stuff, as most of my time is being spent across managing my company and learning about the latest things, where I end up learning at least one research paper a day. So on an average. And I make sure that I learn the adequate things for delivering talks like that. I've not done any preparation, but I know what I'm going to talk. So I've made sure that my agenda is very clear on my mind. So I don't need to have any preparation for that. So you got to be prepared for that, like using R or Python languages. May not be the right direct answer, but yes, that's how I can give you an answer, because I'm not an expert in Python and R. Are we good with this? Yeah. Okay. Which in all industry should I focus? Oh yeah, that's a great question. Oh, right now every industry requires cybersecurity professionals. In order to say that even the FMCG, the food and manufacturing industry requires cybersecurity experts. I'll tell you one example. This is a case study, not published outside, but I have the liberty to really speak about it in about a couple of minutes time. An FMCG company based out of one of the European countries were preparing the concept of, they're doing a soap manufacturing. There's a chemical that they're supposed to add in the soap manufacturing plant. They're supposed to add 0.06% of that material chemical to the whole lot of soap, of the 100% of the soap. And some malpractice happened, some malware got into the system, and the malware's intention was something different, but it changed the composition of 0.06% to 0.86%. And the component can create an itching behavior after you apply the soap in your body. And they identified it before they send the soaps out. They ended up thrashing close to 250,000 soaps, literally thrashing all the things. They just dig a whole big thing, and it's anyway biodegradable, so there's no problem. So they put all the soaps on it and then they close that. So FMCG companies also require cybersecurity experts. Manufacturing industry, hospitals, the medical industry, the professional industry, the IT industry always require it, because that's where the data is being manufactured, produced in digital formats. So there is no specific industry I can really name here. Every industry require cybersecurity professionals. You think which industry you are liking it, you will definitely get a job, because it's still in the premature state. The cybersecurity industry is still in the premature state. That's why we are getting more of them in draft format rather than getting it in the final format, and then we get amendment once in every 2 months. We get an amendment to all these forums releasing their reports. I hope you got it clear, Sarah. Yep. Currently, I'm working as a web developer and looking forward to do MS in cybersecurity in Queen's University in Belfast. Okay. As I'm passionate about the subject, so how do I start with it? What subjects I need to focus? Good question. Beautiful. Since you are a web developer, you must be knowing programming, and of course OWASP is the first thing that you've got to start working out. Then try to learn the database components, the data mining concepts, the analytics concepts. These are the 4 things that you really have to learn. Because the cybersecurity, again, there's one more thing which I forgot to mention during my talk is, we all know cybersecurity is emerging and emerging and emerging, still in premature state. But the moment it is going to be emerged, it is going to be the fastest field that is going to fade away from the market. Let me give you that, absurd thought process. I've not said that. There are a lot of people who said that. I've been reading the articles online. You know why? The moment you say it's immature, you get lots and lots of opportunity. The moment you say it's immature, that's mature, then obviously the opportunities will start to fade away. They'll say that we don't need information security analyst. We only need a person who can do a development work with a security domain. So security will and always be an allied field. So in such case, learn OWASP, learn PCI DSS, then your NISTs and everything, all the forums where they propose concepts for you to understand and develop a web or any other application. At the same time, learn data mining, learn big data, and learn analytics. These 3 things are going to be hand-on. We're going to have a beautiful marriage going to happen between these fields, and cybersecurity is going to sit on top on anything. But they will not call them as cybersecurity analysts. They will call them as data mining analysts, who there'll be a job description saying cybersecurity skills are mandatory. And if you go into cybersecurity skills, they'll list a lot of things. This is what is really going to happen. So choose your subjects close to these kind of things, right? And guys, I think I have to go right now. So I probably would like to really put a stop to this question. I'm sorry for putting that. At the same time, you can get my connections, things from Talentedge, and I'll be happy to answer your questions even offline. And if you have, I have about a couple of minutes to answer any more questions, or else we can go ahead with closing the session. All right then. I'll then close the session, save and close the session. Thanks Rashita, and thanks participants for asking rightful questions. and I'm really happy to respond to your questions offline. Please, Rishita, you can also share my details with them and in a better way, and let's see how we can take it forward. Definitely, Rishita. Thank you. Bye bye, guys. Cheers.